Hey guys, Red the Nerd here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Godzilla vs. Kong Skullcrawler. We've taken a look at Hiya Toy figures before, mostly to do with the Alien franchise. Like, I've taken a look at the Big Chap Exquisite Mini and the Alien Queen, but this is my first ever, really high quality Monsterverse figure. We've taken a look at like the Jakks specific figures from Godzilla vs. Kong and everything. And those are really good figures for the price that you're getting, but I've always wanted something a little bit more, something kind of on par with like Monsterverse and everything. Not Monsterverse, SH Monster Arts. But Hiya Toys, I might just be going for Hiya Toys more than Monsterverse, because this figure is at such a good price range for what you're getting. Is just that it makes SH Monster Arts look really, really bad, honestly. And we'll get to that when we get to that. And I just want to take a quick second here. If you're noticing that the lighting's a little bit weird and different, it's because I replaced my old lamp with a new one. I probably it's not gonna last forever. If you guys don't like the lighting or everything, I personally like this new lamp, but if you guys are finding like the video to be a little bit too weird looking or whatever, just go for it, I guess. I don't really care. But just my old lamp was kind of eating big tits. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you probably noticed in some of my other review videos lately, where if I'm taking a look at a figure, it's all, the figure's just coated in shadow. It's not like actually like lighting up the entire thing, which really, really sucks for doing reviews when I'm trying to get a good look at the details and on everything. It just doesn't really work for what I'm trying to do for my videos. But this lamp, I've tested it out, and it actually works a lot better than with what my old lamp was doing. So anyway, just want to point that out there. So let's take a look at the box here that you've been staring at for over 2 minutes now. So taking a look at the front of the box here, you got the nice Skullcrawler there. And then you also got, kind of like the smoke in the background here, kind of resembling the testing chamber of Mechagodzilla in the film there. And you also got the Godzilla thing on the top and on the side here. Very, very nice. Flip around to the back of the box here. Sorry, this is just a really long-ass box. Then you got some close-up on the face of the Skullcrawler there. And then you also got where his mouth is all open and with the evil tongue and everything like that. It's pretty cool. So let's take a look at the actual figure, shall we? And here is the Skullcrawler himself. And I love the Monsterverse designs of some of the monsters, especially their original ones, like the Skullcrawler, and my number one, gotta go to the Muto. Like, those are some crazy-ass monster designs, and I can't wait to find the Hiya Toys Muto figure. And like I said before, I think that Hiya is a lot better of a company than I keep saying Monsterverse, Jesus, SH Monster Arts. Mostly because of the price range. This guy, for what you're getting, it's a pretty long ass figure. Like, here's like, he's pretty long. The detail, the articulation, even though that he only comes with one accessory, we'll get to that. But the price range, I believe I paid around like $70 to $60 for this figure, which might seem a lot, but you also got to remember that SH Monster Arts, their figures go for like over $100 with no accessories, and some of the articulation on their figures are not up to par with the price range. And I gotta say it, I much prefer Hiya Toys over SH Monster Arts. I just love their figures. It's so well done. And taking a look at the overall sculpting work on this figure just looks absolutely amazing. The nice, really kind of sheen going around the figure, kind of getting that really nice, like, scaly, wet kind of texture going around there. Very, very nice. Just want to mention that this is basically the exact same sculpt and mold as their Skullcrawler figure from Godzilla Skull Island. But I much prefer this figure because of the amount of paint job going throughout there. I love this color scheme more than the kind of bland gray and black going throughout that figure. I just don't really like it all that much. But take a look at the actual, like I mentioned, the paint job here. It's really, really nice. The the red complementing this really kind of grayish color going out here. And then you even got some highlighting of this kind of really disgusting yellowish brown, like you can kind of see at the tip of the muzzle here. And then you even got some of the highlighting throughout like the spinal column here. Coming to the tail here, you also can see some of the, there is some like highlighting of the red throughout the tips of the tail, like the spikes of the tail. And even on the underside here, you got some really, really nice tan texture here going throughout there. Very, very nice, just to give it a little bit more, uniqueness to it, instead of just having this kind of gray color throughout the entire body. And coming to the actual like forearms here, you even get some red going in like in the actual scales there, and you get some really nice kind of dark red going through the bottom of the spike here, and then kind of go into this really, really bright red. Very, very nice. I really do like that. You can even still see it on the top of the head crest here, and even on the tips of the spine there. And coming to the feet or hands, whatever you want to call them, you can still see that kind of red dry brushing and shading going throughout the bottom of the hand here, and you can even see some really, really nice detail going throughout the bottom of the hand or foot, whatever. Looks really, really nice. I really do like that. But yeah, it just looks really, really nice. And you can even see the eye there, which is really, really tiny, but it's really, really noticeable. Once you get it under a really nice light, it just looks really, really awesome. Everything about this figure, the way it looks, just blows me away every single time when I look at this. The paint job, the sculpting work, everything just looks awesome. And we'll take a look at this accessory now, actually. Here's his only accessory, which is a little tongue that's just made out of this soft rubber. I wish it had a little bendy wire in it, but it doesn't. It's just made out of this soft, rubbery plastic kind of going through here. And you can even see a little ball joint here. So let's take a look at the inside of his mouth here. This is a really cool piece of articulation here. So you take the bottom of the jaw here to open it, and the top jaw spring loads open. So it's really, really nicely clean and smooth. So you don't actually have to open one jaw to make the other one, you know, just stationary. They both open at the exact same time, which either way you open it through the top jaw or the bottom jaw. It just looks absolutely amazing. Inside the mouth here, it looks fantastic. I love the kind of the wet, glossy paint that they kind of got going through the mouth here. And you can even see some really tiny little teeth on the top of the jaw, and on the bottom jaw, you got some really like jagged looking teeth there. Very nice. And then you can even see down his gullet there. And here's the little tongue there. So the tongue is on a ball joint, so you can't move it. And then you can see the bottom of the mouth there. Looks really, really nice there. And it is on a ball joint. So basically, you could just pop the tongue right off, because it is just on a ball joint. Bam, pop it off. There you go. Then you can see the kind of hole that it is. It's really hard to see because, you know, it's kind of hard. But there you can see a little hole for the ball joint to go in there. So you just take whatever tongue you want, and then you just plug it in there like so. The only downside is that if you have this tongue and you can't really close his mouth all the way, it just kind of have this like slightly open with this tongue kind of going out, and I just don't really like it. But if you do want the tongue kind of shooting out like that and everything like that, you can definitely do it, but I much prefer having his jaw closed. Because he just looks a lot more menacing when he's just staring at you with his, like, they have a really creepy looking front view of the face there. It just looks really creepy instead of just having this kind of tongue just kind of shooting at you. Speaking of the tongue there, I forgot to mention, there is some really nice black dry brushing going throughout the groove, like the different grooves of the tongue there. Just looks really, really nice and gnarly. What's also gnarly is the articulation on this figure. The articulation is fantastic. I love the articulation. Like I already mentioned, the spring-loaded kind of jaw feature there. And then you even got some ball joints. He's actually got like 3 different segments of ball joints. So you got a ball joint at the base of the neck here. Then you got a ball joint kind of going through here. And then a ball joint at the base of the head. So all of those 3 ball joints working get some really, really nice dynamic different angles there. So they can move left to right. He can look up that far and down that far. He can look really, really far down, but he can't really look up all that well because of the crest piece here kind of stops in the middle of this spine piece there, so it just kind of stops it from going further up. It doesn't really bother me all that much, but it's whatever. And for the arms or the legs, whatever you want to call them, they can rotate 360 degrees. They can move in and out, and they even have a double bend at the knee or the elbow, whatever you want to call it. So you got some really nice hinge joints. So there's a hinge joint here and a hinge joint here, and working that, you got some really, really nice poses going there. Be careful with the spike, by the way, and the spikes on the side of his arm, leg, foot, whatever, and also the spines at the base of the tail here. Or the tip of the tail, sorry. They are really sharp, so just be careful with that. Also with the claws, also be careful with that. For the feet, hands, whatever, they can rotate 360 degrees, and they are on a hinge joint. They can hinge joint like that, and they don't really pivot at all. Unfortunately, on my copy, I hope it's just my copy anyway, on this one, if you got some paint chipping issues going throughout here. This really bothers me. I hope that every other piece of painting on this figure is not like this. I hope that it's just, I don't really know, but like, I got this figure, I moved the thing, and then bam, it was like that when it came out of the box. So I hope it's just my copy and it's not just really brittle paint. And you can also see it kind of on this side here. It's, where is it? It's like right there. But yeah, I hope it's just my copy, and it's just everything about, like, the painting is my favorite part of the figure, and I hope that it's just my copy. But other than that, the paint is pretty well, on there. It's not going to chip off or anything. I hope not, for what I've been experiencing. Nothing, that's going to chip off or anything, except for this, for some reason. But for the base of the spine and the tail here, so you got a ball joint here, and a ball joint here, and a ball joint at the base of the tail. So all those ball joints working together, you get some really, really nice S-curves there. And there is a bendy wire in the tail here as well, so you get some really nice bendy wire poses there. So you can just move that. And all that working, get some really, really nice, decent S-curves there. Looks really, really nice. And the wire is in some pretty thick plastic. Like, I don't think the wire is going to snap anytime soon. It's pretty embedded in there, and it's some really thick plastic to even bend it. So I think that it's going to hold up pretty well over time. And yeah, just the articulation. Even though that he only has like two legs, arms, hands, whatever, but the amount of ball joints that you get on this figure, you get some really nice, decent poses like that. You can just get some really wacky and creative poses with this, and I just love this figure for that. Hiya Toys, you've done it again. You've really impressed me with this figure. It's just really unfortunate that the painting on the inside of the hinge joint here on this hand, arm, leg, feet, whatever, I'm disappointed in that. But everything else about this figure, from the price range to the articulation to the sculpting to the detail, the paint work, everything just looks, it's amazing. I can't recommend this figure enough. And I'm really excited. This is my first Monsterverse Hiya Toys figure, and I can't wait to buy some more from them, because at this rate, I'm probably going to go bankrupt because of how much I love this figure and how much I've been looking at their website, looking at all the different figures that they have, and I can't wait to pick up some more. So that's going to do for me, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't care what you do. I just know what time it is. So, bye, guys.